report.
Very First Lady Janet Ashcroft was an awards presenter today at the 1985 Senior Citizens Volunteers of the Year program, sponsored by Kansas City's Channel 9 and Research Health Services. Before the program, she visited residents and volunteers at a local nursing home.
There's so many problems that if you had to pay someone to come in and try to, to work at or something, there is no way the financial resources of this country would be adequate to do it. So I think that's one reason why this country is so great, is we've had a history of volunteerism. The people you're helping know what you're doing, and that love shows through.
Herman Lowenstein, voted Volunteer Male of the Year, was honored for his work with children, something he loves to do.
You get back the satisfaction of knowing that you've tried to make somebody's life or lives better.
Angie Aker, another awards recipient, has been instrumental in developing programs for the aged and for children with sickle cell disease.
I can go to bed sleeping good. I can rest good if I don't sleep at all at night, because I know I've done what I could by any given situation.
Those whose lives are touched by volunteers are grateful.
And I think that people really wait for them and appreciate them. They're lonesome sometimes. And I think we're grateful to have them.
With the U.S. population getting older, it's important that we become involved in each other's lives and lend a helping hand. Brenda Washington, Kansas City's Channel 9.
When we return, we'll meet two of these very special people and find out why they volunteer their time to help others. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Merry Christmas.
Two special people were honored at that Channel 9 and Research Health Services luncheon as Volunteers of the Year. You've already met one of them briefly, but following the ceremony, Lori Everett talked with both of them.
We're very pleased to have joining us now Mary Cottitta of Gladstone, who is the 1985 Senior Citizen Volunteer Woman of the Year, and Herman Lowenstein of Kansas City, who is this year's Senior Citizen Volunteer Man of the Year. Now, both Mrs. Cottitta and Mr. Lowenstein devote a tremendous amount of their time and energy to helping others, to being there whenever and wherever they are needed. Mrs. Cottitta, I know that you've already put in a long and demanding career as an industrial nurse. Why don't you just sit back and put your feet up at this point in your life? You've certainly deserved it.
Well, that's no fun. You know, I told him when I quit work, I said I want to stop and smell the roses. And the roses just being people that I felt needed help. And I needed those people as much as they needed me. And that's why I didn't do it. Another reason, I don't like housework. I'd much rather be working with people than with things. And that was one of the reasons I did that.
Now, I know one of your important projects is with Synergy House, which is, as I understand, for teenagers who need some help. Can you tell me a little bit about that and why that's so important to you to be involved with those kids?
Synergy House is an emergency house for runaway teens or teens with disciplinary problems or behavior problems. And sometimes they come there on their own because they, they're on the run, they're on the street, as they tell me. And then sometimes they're sent there by ministers or priests or teachers or caseworkers. And it's important to me that these children are so lost and so, I don't think they've ever had any real love in their life. And what I would like to do, if just one little sentence or one, maybe word, that would stay with them for a long, long time. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. But hopefully it will.
Very demanding, but also very rewarding, I would think.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love it. I really love doing it. I look forward to it.
Now, Mr. Lowenstein, I know that you were involved among your many projects, something quite similar, working at the Gillis home with emotionally disturbed children. That must take a lot out of you, doesn't it?
It takes a lot out of me, but it also puts a lot in me.
How so? What does it give you back?
It gives me a sense of gratification to know that I'm helping children who need help, and children who, like ball players, some of them have 2 strikes on them before they hardly come to bat. And they need help, and they need love, and they need the proper discipline. And maybe I'm the grandfatherly type, and they look to me as a, somebody they can confide in, and we get along fine.
You mentioned that to me earlier when we were talking, that because you are older than some of the other people they come into contact with, you have something extra you can give them.
Well, most of these boys come from broken homes. Some of them know their parents, some don't. Most of
Volunteers of the Year program today at Bartle Hall. Those honored spend their free time helping others in the fields of education and health and social services. And 2 of the award recipients are with us now. Joining us are the 1985 Senior Citizen Volunteers of the Year. The Woman of the Year, Mrs. Mary Cottitta. Using her RN training, she helps Synergy House in Parkville, a runaway center. She counsels at St. Charles. She's on the board of the Northland Mental Health Association, among other things. Our Volunteer of the Year man is Herman Lowenstein. He helps at the Gillis Home and has done much work at the Joan Davis School as a teacher, and he has just celebrated his 76th birthday. Congratulations to both of you. It was such an honor being with you at the luncheon today at Bartle Hall. Mr. Lowenstein, what makes you really want to volunteer and give so much of your time and effort?
The real reason that I have volunteered is to give other people a break, people less fortunate than myself, especially with the children that have 2 strikes on them, some of them, before they even come to bat, and to keep them from striking out, and giving them love and attention that so many of them want and really deserve.
It has to be a tremendous advantage for so many of these young people to take advantage of your knowledge and the wisdom that you've accumulated over the years, I would think.
Well, that may be true, but I get so much more back from them than perhaps I give. I go to school all the time myself. It's a perpetual education, and the children are really something to work with. I love each and every one.
Well, that's wonderful. Mrs. Cottitta, I know that you keep very, very busy, too. Certainly busy. You're busier than most unretired people.
Well, yes, I guess.
Well, what keeps you going? What is the drive, the motivating force behind your work?
Well, it's because I like to help people. I like people. They interest me. And if there's anything I can do to help them, I want to do that. And then in turn, I receive, like Mr. Lowenstein said, much more than I give. And then it's interesting. It's interesting to meet these people, too.
You really get a lot of satisfaction out of what you do.
Oh, yes. And I enjoy it. It's a fun thing. Having fun.
Well, it's so nice to have you with us, and it was really wonderful to be a part of the luncheon today and to help honor both of you, Herman Lowenstein and Mrs. Mary Cottitta. Thank you very, very much for being with us. And again, congratulations on winning the awards for 1985.
Thank you. It was a fun day. Enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.